Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's Mark with Georgetoon.com. I'm back with another Monday Morning Mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things. What do you got this morning? New delivery of Coffee of the Month Club. Hang on 1 minute. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. We've had this one before. Again, a big thank you to my nephew Jason, his wife Allison, and the boys. This is the Coffee of the Month Club Christmas gift that keeps on giving every month. Black Rifle Coffee, Keurig cups. I always mess this one up. Tactisquatch. Yeah, that's it. Tactisquatch right there. It's a dark roast. It's terrific. It's got a nice, bold, refined flavor to it. Absolutely fantastic. And again, we've got the Keurig cups right here. Yeah, you got like a Sasquatch there, Bigfoot, right? Tactisquatch. Yeah, I think I pronounced that correctly. Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. And of course, we're using the official George Monday Morning Mailbag coffee mug. This is the 11 ounce size because I got 10 ounces of coffee in there out of my Keurig machine, and it fit in there perfectly. So if you've got a Keurig machine that will give you a 10-ounce mug of coffee, this 11-ounce mug will work perfectly. And there it is right there, Monday Morning Mailbag. And we have these for sale on the online store, Georgetoon Shaving online store. So we'll link that below. That link will be right below the timestamps. So just when you get to the video description, click on more, where it says more, and then the entire description will expand and you can see everything there. And those will be the first links underneath all the timestamps, that lead you to different parts of the video presentation this morning. So yeah, check it out. Absolutely fantastic. We have them in 11 ounce and 15 ounce sizes. This is the 11 ounce size, and it's terrific. Hang on, one more sip. Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Now, if you make your coffee or would like to make your coffee with a stove percolator, we asked Rodney Ripplinger last week if he ever bought that Coletti percolator because it was Amine Samant who said he was going to buy a Stanley coffee percolator, and he likes it a lot. He bought one. He loves it. And Rodney Ripplinger did buy the Coletti percolator. He said, hi, Mark, I did buy the Coletti percolator. I got the smaller 6-cup size, i.e. six ounce sized cups. After researching percolators, I had decided that would be large enough for me. I usually make one 16 mug in the morning. I think he meant 16-ounce mug in the morning, something like that. I had decided not to get a coffee maker with a plastic handle, as most were fastened at one mounting point, and I thought that over time they might break, not to mention melt over the stove. Another plus was a glass percolation indicator instead of plastic, which I had heard cracks after a while. I also like the way they are designed inside with a full cover over the coffee grounds basket. I make my coffee on a glass top stove. And he also sent this along. This is a video that convinced me to buy the Coletti unit, and we will link that video below, a YouTube video that you can check out and also assess whether or not you want the Coletti or the Stanley, that sort of thing. So, Rodney, thanks very, very much for sending that along. We really, really do appreciate it. Now, we had another coffee mug lined up this morning, courtesy of William Meredith. William also sent along some coffee, but the coffee has not yet arrived. So next week, stay tuned. We should have both of those items together, and they have to be used together. That's all I'm going to say. That's the tease. That's the teaser I'm going to give you. They have to be used together. You can't use one and then use the other one. They got to be used together. So a big thank you to William Meredith for both the coffee mug and the coffee. The mug arrived. We're still waiting on the coffee. Coffee's probably very good and in high demand, which is why it's taking a little while to get here. So stay tuned for that next week. A big thank you to William Meredith. So how are you this morning? Great to be with you. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. As we like to say on the show, a good hot coffee, a trusty mug. Let the caffeine go to work, gentlemen. Yes, absolutely. Hang on one more sip. And that's also on the back of the coffee mug here, the Monday Morning Mailbag coffee mug. Right there, a good hot coffee, a trusty mug. Let the caffeine go to work, gentlemen. Absolutely. And hey, if you're taking me along on your morning commute, thanks very much for the lift. Really do appreciate that. If you're listening to the podcast this morning, thanks very much for tuning us in via all those great platforms that are out there streaming the show, whether it be Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or iHeartRadio, that sort of thing. Hey, thanks very much for tuning in this morning. Really do appreciate it. We got a great show for you this morning. We got a great viewer shaving tip this morning. We also have a terrific shave den visit, courtesy of Chris Bodrab. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be great. We got a little bit of an update on the giveaway that we just recently had. We're also going to feature some more Monday Morning Mailbag coffee mugs from viewers. Some of those great photos. Monday Morning Mailbag photos from viewers. That's what I meant to say. We also have some reminders for you, some great refill comments, some really terrific new wet shaving gear to share with you, and also some questions and comments to round things out. So thanks so much for tuning in this morning. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. I hope the weather is nice and agreeable where you are, because we are cold. And if it's cold where you are, I hope you got a nice hot cup of coffee and you're by the fireplace warming up. And again, thanks for tuning in. So let's get the show kicked off like we do every week with a viewer morning shaving tip. Well, this morning's shaving tip comes from viewer Gene Hawk. That's spelled capital H-O-C-H, and it's pronounced Hawk, Gene Hawk. And Gene writes, "Hi, Mark. First off, just want to say I have been watching your show since I started wet shaving. Well, actually, since I decided to get serious about actually doing it. And yes, I am a new wet shaver. It's only been about 2 months now, but wow, am I happy I finally made the plunge to get started. I have a small confession. I had been putting this hobby off for a time when I was ready to actually do the research and learn about what equipment and software would make it a real and fulfilling experience to the degree it would be a lifelong change. After about 10 years of thinking about it, I finally decided to delve into the wet shaving world on YouTube this past holiday season, and you instantly became one of my favorites to watch. So thank you kindly for all you do out there to help bring insight, opinion, and variety to the hardware and software aspects of this fantastic hobby of wet shaving." Well, Gene, thank you very, very much, but I'll extend your thanks to all the many viewers and wet shavers out there that make this show possible and who send along some great, great information. So again, thanks to everyone out there. You make this show possible. He continues here, "I am messaging you today because I just finished watching one of your Monday morning mailbag shows, January 17th, 2025, and decided I would send in a bit of a tip. If not more so, an experience I recently had that I thought some of the viewers out there might be interested in hearing. As we all understand, once we get involved in wet shaving, it becomes somewhat of a scramble and gamble to constantly choose what products to try in an effort to find just the right combinations that work for you, that make the shaving experience better and more enjoyable, whether it be for the sake of finding another scent you absolutely love, or to in fact improve the quality of the shave itself, while at the same time do good for your skin. With that in consideration, my new journey has already led me to trying various soaps after starting with a few of the more traditional scents from Taylor of Old Bond Street and George F. Trumper's, which, by the way, I have absolutely been loving, especially George Trumper's Spanish Leather, which has become one of my most favorite scents. After watching a few of your videos and others on YouTube, I decided to make my next purchase gamble and buy my first set of soaps from Ariana and Evans in an effort to try a brand that has been praised for their exotic scents, slick qualities, and skin-nourishing properties. I chose the following and paired each with their matching aftershaves. Bahian Leather, loved your video on this version from back in March of 2024. Neota and Barbier Sofisticado. Anticipating their arrival, I had imagined what the scents would be like in strength and favor, but when they arrived on one of our cold winter days here in Ohio, I was quick to unbox them and get my first taste of what these were really like. And to my surprise, I was quite disappointed. As I opened each tub, I found the scents to be very weak at best, and for the most part, seemingly had a more plastic, over-lingering scent to them that was nothing like their descriptions and more like just bland and off-scented offerings. I was deflated because just this order alone was once again a sizable chunk of change to try some new products, as we all know this hobby brings a lot of. I quickly stacked them away, left the aftershave sealed and shelved them away as well, was already writing them off as a brand that simply wasn't for me, and I considered my expenditure a complete loss until about a week later, I decided to try the Bohemian leather. And to my surprise, as soon as I started the lathering process, the amazing leathery scent rose to the occasion, and I could instantly see and feel the rich quality of the soap formulation. As I lathered the soap, the scent was a very appealing, clean, leather-based scent that was along the lines of what I had expected the day these soaps arrived. And not only that, but I had one of the best shaves to date. The soap was super slick, rinsed cleanly out of my Rockwell 6C with complete ease, and left my face feeling awesome. Following up with the matched aftershave was also the nourishing experience I had hoped for. For whatever reason, whether it was because the soaps I received needed to warm up, or if they just needed to blossom in some way through the lathering process, or whatever, my tip to anyone trying a new soap brand is don't judge a soap by its first impression, and it might be safe to let these kinds of products acclimate to room temperature before scent testing as well, if they are delivered cold. I'm going to read that one more time. My tip to anyone trying a new soap brand is don't judge a soap by its first impression, and it might be safe to let these kind of products acclimate to room temperature before scent testing as well, if they are delivered cold. I am more than very satisfied with my first shave using the Ariane & Evans products, and I look forward to more shaves with this brand. They are a noticeable difference from other more traditional soaps I have tried in means of feel, and they seem to have a superior hydrating quality about them that I totally appreciate. I still love my traditional old school soaps thus far, but this new experience with one of the more popular modern soaps has me loving this hobby even more. Thanks again, Mark, for all you do, and I will see you on your channel next Monday. Enjoy the day, and God bless. Gene A. Hawk. He's a realtor with Wingate Properties Group. Hey, check them out in Ohio if you're looking to buy or sell property. Wingate Properties Group, WYNDGATE. So check them out. Happy to mention the properties, the Realtor Properties Group, Wingate Properties Group. Gene, thanks very much for a terrific, terrific shaving tip. A little bit of exposition there, but really it does give you some background. And I'm sure this is something maybe a lot of us have gone through with shaving gear. We get something, we're really excited about it, we have high expectations, and then all of a sudden we're deflated because it doesn't deliver. This is something that we have talked about on the show in past episodes over the years that we've been producing the Monday Morning Mailbag, is that if you get a new piece of shaving gear and it doesn't work out for you, set it aside. Set it aside and wait, give it a week or two. This is what Gene did. And again, maybe that shaving soap warmed up a little bit, came to room temperature, whatever the reason. Wow, he got a great, great shaving experience. So he let his better angels kind of dictate his decision here, just to give it a little bit of time, wait a little bit, revisit it, and wow, he was rewarded with an absolutely wonderful shave and loves the Ariane & Evans shaving products. We have talked about them on the show. We've got some other reviews coming up on Ariana and Evans shaving soaps and creams, so stay tuned for those. Probably in the next week or so, we'll have a few of those running here, certainly into March. And yeah, they are absolutely fantastic. Shaving soaps and shaving creams, a definite favorite here on the Monday Morning Mailbag. And a big thank you to Peter Sharkalis of Ariana and Evans for sending some of those along to the channel and allowing us to share them with all the viewers out there. And again, Gene, thanks again for a really terrific shaving tip. And to say thank you, for you and only you, an original signed George sketch. So please email me your snail mail address to mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and I will send this to you post haste. And if you out there would like an original signed George sketch, just send me a shaving tip. Send that shaving tip to mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and if I use it here on the Viewer Morning Shaving Tip segment of the Monday Morning Mailbag, you too will receive an original signed George sketch. So, Gene, thanks again for a terrific shaving tip and all the great background regarding it. Really do appreciate it. Well, this morning we have a Shave Den visit, courtesy of viewer Chris Bodrab. He has a new razor in his Shave Den, and he writes, "Hey, Mark, hope you're having a great week. Thought I would send in some photos and a video of a new razor I ordered from Sean at Carbon Shaving. This is one of his gallery razors called the CX Damascus. Now that's capital C, lowercase x, dash Damascus. I think that's how it's pronounced. If it's not, forgive me, I apologize, but that's the way I'm reading it here. Anyhow, he continues here. It is a combination of 304L and 316L stainless steel folded and forged together to create a Damascus style steel. From Sean at Carbon Shaving. This is what Sean has to write about this particular razor here and the steels that are used to make it. I name each of my Damascus pieces with a unique name. Pulad, that's spelled capital P-U-L-A-D, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Pulad was the Persian name for the crucible steel that was used to make Damascus steel. These CX Damascus models are custom made. The photos are images of pieces we have made. Each piece is unique. We plan to finish a small number of these pieces over the next few months. Each CX is individually engraved with its own unique specific name. No two are alike. These pieces feature our web base plate in all Damascus stainless steel, which is again, forged grades 304 and 316. Damascus steel was used to forge swords of the past. They were renowned for their toughness and craftsmanship. Technically, the term for this metal is pattern weld, as the true secret to the original Damascus steel was lost to time in the 1800s. Each base plate, handle, and top cap was individually machined, etched, hand sanded, and polished. The Damascus steel was custom forged for us by master blacksmiths in the USA. Wow, how about that? Again, this razor is made from all stainless steel Damascus grades 304 and 316, custom forged in the United States. And here are some other technical specifications. It's 86 grams total weight. It has a positive blade exposure, 92 millimeter handle length, which is 3.6 inches, and a 13 millimeter handle diameter, which is 0.5 inches. Wow, that is an absolutely classic looking razor. Absolutely beautiful. That is wonderful. We're going to get a link below in case any of the viewers out there would like to acquire one of these razors. My gosh, this thing is definitely a beautiful, beautiful work of art that also functions as a razor, obviously. Wow, that is absolutely beautiful. Chris, thank you so much for sending along the photos and the video of what is an absolutely exquisite piece of art. in the form of a razor, a safety razor. That is absolutely gorgeous. Again, folks, check it out. This is the CS Damascus from Carbon Shaving. Again, we will have a link below where you can check this out and get further information. Chris, thank you so much for sharing this with all the viewers this morning. Really do appreciate it. Well, here's another reminder that this channel now has AutoDub technology, courtesy of YouTube and Google. If English is not your strong suit, you can hear this channel, this program, and these videos on this channel in Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish, or French in real time on the fly. It's pretty amazing technology. It'll automatically translate my spoken words into any of those languages, Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish, or French, again, in real time, on the fly. All you have to do is go to the gear in the lower portion of the video screen, click on that, a menu will pop up, and from there you can select the language of your choice. Again, the available options are Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish, or French. Just click on that and you'll hear me speaking in those languages in real time. It's pretty amazing technology. Check it out. AutoDub, available on this channel right now. And here's your weekly reminder that the Monday Morning Mailbag is also available as a podcast. Simply get up to your favorite streaming service and search for Monday Morning Mailbag and more, Monday Morning Mailbag and more, and the Monday Morning Mailbag podcast, as well as our other podcast, Second Cup, will come right up. Both of those podcasts are available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, and now iHeartRadio. Well, here's another reminder that the Maggard Meetup takes place on April 26, 2025, from 12 noon to 5 p.m. at 124 South Winter Street in Adrian, Michigan, zip code 49221. Tickets are on sale right now, $35 each. We'll have a link below where you can get up to the Maggard Meetup website and get yourself a ticket. A big thank you to Abene Samant for the heads up on this before tickets went on sale on February 7th. So again, tickets are available right now, $35 each. The meetup is April 26, 2025 from noon to 5 p.m. in Adrian, Michigan. We'll have a link below where you can get your very own ticket, and it was a fantastic meetup last year, and it promises to be another great one this year. So get your ticket while they're still available. I have my ticket. I hope to see you there. Well, we have a bit of a giveaway update this morning. As you recall, viewer Chris Bodrab very kindly and generously sent along some artisan brush handles that he created, CB Brushworks, and we gave away 3 of them. And our third winner here, JR1430, Jay Robinson, received his, and he reported in writing, "Hi Mark, I have received the shave brush handle and it looks great. I have yet to send a picture as I have ordered a knot for it, and I am now playing the waiting game. When I get it put together, I will send you a photo of it. I am hoping that it will come soon as I'm looking forward to using it. Thanks and talk to you soon." Again, that's from Jay Robinson, who was our third winner of one of these beautiful artisan brush handles from Chris Bodrab. Chris, thank you again for sponsoring that giveaway, and looking forward to receiving that photo from Jay and to seeing what kind of knot he selects for his brush handle. Jay, thanks again for the update, and Chris, thank you again for sponsoring an absolutely wonderful giveaway. Really do appreciate it. Well, this morning we have some more viewer photos of them with their official George Monday Morning Mailbag coffee mug and other merchandise that we have for sale at the Georgetoon Shaving website. We'll link it below again, right below the timestamps. First up, we hear from Al Spencer, who writes, "Daisy says, Are we ready to watch 3MB? And of course you are, because Al is brewing a cup of coffee in his Monday Morning Mailbag coffee mug. Al, thanks so much for sending along the photos. And please tell Daisy we said hello from all of us. Matt Panther sent this along. And he acquired some of the George sweatshirts. And he writes, they turned out amazing. Super high quality feel and printing process. Matt, I am so very glad to hear this. That's wonderful. And they look absolutely great. Thank you so much for confirming the feel and the look and the printing process used in creating these sweatshirts. I am really, really delighted by that. Thank you so very, very much. They do look great. Wow, absolutely fantastic. And Bill Murphy sent this email along, and the subject heading reads, George meets Snoopy. And he writes, attached is a picture of me with my George shirt with some of our Snoopy collection. Love the shirt. Great customer service and fast shipping. Have a great week. Wow, that's absolutely fantastic photo, Bill. Thanks again. A George mug and a George shirt. Thank you so very, very much. I'm so flattered by that. And all that great Snoopy stuff there with you. Absolutely fantastic. Of course, that's a shout out to all the discussions we've had regarding the Peanuts gang, Snoopy and the Red Baron, and Charles Schulz in previous Monday morning mailbags. Wow, absolutely fantastic. So my thanks to all the viewers out there who have sent in photos, and a big thank you this week to Al, Matt, and Bill for sending along photos of mugs and sweatshirts this morning. Gentlemen, thank you again very, very much. Well, what do you know? Coffee's getting low, that time of the show. Let's go back for a refill. Well, I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. I hope you went back for a refill. I sure did. Hang on 1 minute. Oh yeah, 10 ounces. I mean, it's all the way. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know how I can. Oh, there it is. See it? Right there, and yeah, 10 ounces. It's going to fall out if I'm not careful. I don't want it to dribble on the keyboard, but yeah, boy, that's 11 ounces, and I got 10 ounces of coffee goodness in there. Again, from Black Rifle Coffee Company, Tactisquatch. Tactisquatch or Tactisquatch? Tactical? I think it's Tactisquatch. Why don't they just call it Tactical Sasquatch? That kind of rolls off the tongue too, but Tactisquatch. Did I say Tactisquatch earlier? Tactisquatch. I think is how it's supposed to be pronounced, but it's a dark roast and it is marvelous. Has a nice, bold flavor to it. Very refined, really good. Hang on 1 minute. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Wow, check it out from Black Rifle Coffee Company. Tactisquatch, I guess is how it's pronounced. And a big thank you again to Jason Allison and the boys for that. That's my Christmas gift, Coffee of the Month Club. I think it's the 3rd year running. Wow. I think they're doing it because viewers asked the question, are you going to get that gift again this year? And Jason caught wind of that and said, yeah, well, we're going to give it to Uncle Mark again. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. So again, a big, big thank you to Jason Allison and the boys. We got some great refill comments this morning. We're going to kick things off with something from Kevin W., also known as Woke Shaver. And he writes, great 3MB. My dad was a big fan of Peanuts, as you are. It really tickled his sense of humanity and his sense of humor. He also was a Hager the Horrible fan, but his favorite cartoon growing up was Walt Kelly's strip Pogo. His use of the quote, we have met the enemy and he is us, always pops into my mind as it was Dad's favorite saying. Thanks for the memories, Kevin W. Yeah, Walt Kelly was an animator at Disney for a number of years. He worked on Dumbo and some other feature animated pictures over there. And Pogo was a really, really renowned comic strip. And I guess in looking at the history, and I've heard about this, and the best of my recollection, Walt Kelly, when the characters took out the flatboat, out into the Okefenokee Swamp. I think that was the name of the swamp. And the back of the flatboat had an area where Walt Kelly would put the name of a newspaper or possibly even the name of an individual. I guess it was a big honor to do that. And some years later, the syndicate decided to relaunch Pogo. Now, I had a good friend, my late friend, Tim Rosenthal, was an executive at American Color, and they colored all the Sunday comics. And Tim gave a number of us cartoonists from the Great Lakes chapter of the National Cartoonist Society a tour of American Color. It was pretty amazing watching them add color to the Sunday comics. And anyhow, when Pogo was relaunched, because Tim was so well loved among cartoonists and so well known among cartoonists, the team that was bringing Pogo back, the artist and the writer, they made sure to put Tim's name on the back of that boat when Pogo and another character were taking it out into the swamp. And I remember going over to Tim's house and seeing that framed up on his wall. I thought, wow. First of all, it's kind of like the rebirth of Pogo, but secondly, to have that honor of having your name on the back of that boat. Wow, that was really, really neat. So, yeah, Pogo, much loved and renowned comic strip. And thanks for mentioning that, Kevin. Really, really do appreciate it. Viewer Tubero CK6 writes, a commemorative razor. What an absolutely wonderful idea. I wish they brought it back and all the proceeds were donated to help veterans and families of service men and women. Yeah, that's an absolutely fantastic idea. Now, if you missed it, it was a Shave Den visit from last week in the Monday Morning Mailbag. Stephen Colbert sent along photos of his Shave Den, and there was this absolutely spectacular vintage shaving set from 1917. This was something that was sold in stores that families could send to servicemen, and it's absolutely stunningly beautiful. You can also find these on eBay, and absolutely beautiful. So I agree with you. That would be a great idea if a razor manufacturer out there were to put together a commemorative razor kit that could be sold, and proceeds could benefit veterans and families of servicemen and women. That would be absolutely fantastic idea. Really, really terrific. But again, in last week's Monday Morning Mailbag, Steve Colbert sent along some photos of his Shave Den and his absolutely beautiful vintage razor set from 1917. Give it a look, last week's Monday Morning Mailbag. Beth Jones writes, good morning, Mark. Happy President's Day. Love the Shave Den visit, especially the vintage 1917 shave set. Have a great rest of the week, Mark. Yeah, Beth, it was absolutely stunningly beautiful. Again, folks, last week's Monday Morning Mailbag, it really, I think when you see this, you will just be so, it's breathtaking. Let me put it that way. It is so captivating and breathtaking. So check it out. Last week's Monday Morning Mailbag, Shave Den visit. Big thank you to Steve Colbert for sending that along, the photos of his Shave Den, and especially the vintage 1917 shave set. James Sefton writes, hey, Mark, always a pleasure to watch the 3MB while enjoying a cup of coffee. And about George shoveling the snow. That was the Last Laugh comic strip from last week. Check it out, Last Laugh. The snow. Years ago, my aunt asked my uncle if he was going to shovel the snow off the sidewalk, and he said, why? I didn't put it there. Have a great day and rest of the week. My grandfather said the same thing. My mother used to say, he was retired at the time, and, she was married, and then she and my dad were starting a family. I was just a little kid at the time, and she would ask him, when they would go over to visit, you didn't shovel your walk. And he says, well, look, he said, well, look, I'm going to let the guy who put it there take it away. I can understand that. I just got done shoveling in the very, very cold weather here around the fire hydrant that's on my tree lawn and the front walk. And yeah, I sometimes think, you know what? I want to just let the guy who put it there take it away. But, we need to clear away the snow. Viewer Jeff Palmer writes, hey, Mark, thanks for another great 3MB. Yes, the TI Henson is on the list. It will take a little while to save up for it, but we'll let you know what I think when I get it in. Thanks again for the video and have a great rest of your week. Yeah, Jeff Palmer was telling us about wanting to get a Henson titanium razor. He's kind of on the fence, and viewers and myself gave him a few more reasons as to why he needs to get that razor. So it's on his list now. So Jeff, when you do decide to make the purchase, please put together a review, send some photos in, and let us know what you think of it. Absolutely. I know viewers will be interested in hearing your thoughts and experiences with the Ti Henson. So thanks very much for that comment. This comes from Bug Chief. Well, actually, this is Glenn, a.k.a. Bug Chief. And he writes, "Hi, Mark. As always, your 3MBs are informative and thought-provoking. I couldn't help but think that this week's shaving tip suggests trying different blades until we find a fit each of us is comfortable with. I thought human DNA is unique to each human, but it's comprised of a sequence of only 4 bases for all of humans. We in the wet shaving world should view it in the same manner. 4 bases to make an individual wet shaving profile. And here are the 4 bases that he suggests. Number 1, type, soap, crope, and cream. Number 2, razor, DE, single edge, straight edge. Number 3, razor blade, that would be the brand. And number 4, application method of aforementioned cream, soap, and crope. Brush, hand, face load, bowl load. Our individual preferences give each of us unique shaving DNA. Just my thoughts. Best regards, Glenn, a.k.a. Bug Chief." Glenn, thanks very much for this comment. Really do appreciate it. This is why I'm including it in the refill segment, because I think you're onto something here. Getting everything down to 4 categories or 4 bases, so to speak. Type, razor, razor blade, and application method, because we're always constantly trying different combinations in our shave den. This razor with this razor blade, this brush with this soap, with this shaving bowl. Are we going to be doing a face lather or a bowl lather? That kind of thing makes a lot of sense. And I think getting it down to these 4 bases or 4 categories will help keep things straight in our minds. Yeah, thanks very much for that, Glenn. Really do appreciate it. A really, really great suggestion in how to keep all these categories straight while we're in our shaving den trying these different combinations of all of our shave gear. Really do appreciate it. Steve M. 1563 writes, "Fun show, Mark. I wound up ordering the rectangle. I could not resist and dig trying unique razors. This week I'm using the tightener. The first pass was a little rough, so I took out the blade and reloaded it. It has shaved smooth since. I don't know if it was the curl of the snap blade or if it was misaligned, but I'll have to keep an eye out for that in the future. Have a great week." Oh, Steve, you got to tell us what you think of the rectangle razor. This is from Blackland Razor. We talked about it the previous couple of weeks. They went on sale, and yeah, you're going to have to let us know how that rectangle is. Please send in some photos or video or a review. I know viewers out there would love to see that. And the tightener is an absolutely fantastic razor. We reviewed it, 17-degree shaving angle, kind of like a 21st century version of the gem razor, only you can snap a blade in half. If you look at the base plate, there is, on either side of the base plate, there's a little bit of an opening where the curl of that snap blade will just kind of duck into, so the blade remains flat. So my guess is you probably put the blade in there, curl side up. Just put the curl side down, and you'll see those little indentations on the base plate that allow for that curl to kind of move out of the way, and the blade aligns flat. Yeah, love the tightener. It's a fantastic razor. So yeah, I'm so glad you like it. I love the tightener. It's really, really great. When you want to change things up and maybe have a shave at a 17-degree angle or something a little more shallow. Very, very reminiscent of the gem razor, but kind of brought up to the 21st century approach. So you can use a wide variety of razor blades in it. Yeah, really, really terrific razor. So thanks very much for that, Steve. Really do appreciate it. This comes from Rod Sloan, 706, Melbourne. Oh, this is Rod from down under, Melbourne. Hi, Mark. Love 3MB. The Omega GT series brush. I noticed Maggard's also had that brush in the original stunning Ford GT40 colors from the 1960s. Doesn't look too bad at all. If you're interested and get a chance, do an old original car photo to brush juxtaposition. Pretty accurate, Well done, Omega. Yeah, these brushes are done in the different colors of motorsports racing teams. And yeah, 4 GT40 colors. Yeah, that's what these brushes are all about. The one that I have that Matt Penter very kindly sent to the channel is the McLaren Motorsports team racing colors. So a big thank you again to Matt Penter. Thank you very, very much, Matt. He continues here. This is regarding Martin de Candre. Martin de Candre Agrumes. That's Agrumes. I still don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this is a shave soap sample that Jonathan Peoples sent to the channel. We're going to be doing a review on it. A truly great shave soap, brilliant protection, lasts and lasts. Suggest with this one that you resist the scoop out, but up to you, of course, but rather lather directly from the jar as recommended. This one is different. Unlike anything I've used before, I found that I can still take this to good bowl lather or directly to the face if preferred. Being a hard milled soap, it dries quickly back to an almost knock on the door hard and only needing to leave the lid off for a short while for this to happen. Hope that this makes sense. Oh, it does, absolutely. Not aware that there is any matching splash, however. Have a great week, Mark, and take care. Yeah, I would love to do a brush load, but it's a very, very small sample. A very, very small sample container, but I might just scrape off a little bit, put it in the bowl, spread it out to kind of mimic maybe a brush load from the actual container. We'll see what happens. I have yet to use it, really looking forward to it. The scent is marvelous. As far as splashes, I have a couple that I'm considering, and I'll share those when I do the review. So thanks very much for that, Rod, and hi to everyone in Melbourne down under. This comes from Jimmy V Photography, and he writes, that U.S. service set is truly an amazing find. It's so great that he uses it on those special days. Yeah, Steve was saying that he only uses it on days honoring servicemen and women. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Something so historical shouldn't just be squirreled away. A careful use like he does just feels right. I agree, absolutely. Charles Schulz was someone I always wanted to meet. Snoopy and Peanuts have brought me so many smiles, chuckles, and bursts of outright laughter. I wanted to thank him in person. Yeah, he was a really, really nice man, and I had a couple of chances to chat with him and exchange some words. Not for very long, but just a really, really nice man. And the nice thing is that even though I wasn't a close personal friend and in his inner circle, again, his really good friends called him Sparky. He liked that. He never told me, "Hey, call me Sparky." So I always, out of respect, called him Mr. Schulz. I think he appreciated that, and just a really, really nice man, and had a couple of moments to share with him. And knew enough to say hello, how are you, nice to see you, and then leave him alone and let him be with his close friends because, he spent all that time in front of a drawing table and then was able to get away and go to a National Cartoon Society convention. And the idea was to catch up with old friends. So, I kind of understood that. So it was always nice to meet him. But the point here is that when I did meet him, he always treated me as a colleague and a fellow cartoonist. And I thought that was very nice of him to do so. So yeah, just a really neat meeting him. Yeah, it really was. Entenmann's, Jimmy continues here. Entenmann's coffee crumb cake is the best, but do not wear a black shirt when eating it. Laugh out loud. Yeah, one of the viewers last week, I think it was Andrew Hill, said he was enjoying Entenmann's coffee, and I said, I think there's a law that says you have to eat Entenmann's crumb cake with their coffee. I'm not sure. Oh, and this is regarding the My Three Sons shaving scenes. And I had mentioned that Fred McMurray had in his contract that he filmed everything in like the first 2 or 3 weeks and then would leave. And then the rest of the cast would have to film the rest of the series. So he didn't do it week in and week out. He filmed everything in like the first couple of weeks and then left. And Jimmy says here, yes, indeed, Fred McMurray scenes were pretty much all block shoots. I'm so glad you you use that term, block shoots. Yeah, they would block everything out, I assume, and shoot it and, do it for the episode 1 and then reblock it in the same setup and do episode 2 and episode 3. And then, okay, now we've got the 6 shots of you shaving. Let's go out to the hallway and change the wardrobe, and we'll do all the shots for episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out there, that kind of thing. Thanks very much for that term. Fred McMurray scenes were pretty much all block shoots, filmed out of order so he could do them and then go off to do other projects. Meanwhile, the cast were all reacting to someone who wasn't there. It's almost like a forerunner to today's CGI, where actors are relating to characters not really there. He was a huge star at the time and had a lot of contractual power, so he got pretty much anything he asked for. Wow. That is absolutely fantastic, Jimmy. Thank you so much for letting us know about that. That was so informative. Really, really do appreciate it. Keith Osmond writes, this is regarding the 316 Razor that came from Matt Panter. Matt, thank you again very, very much. The 316 is a great razor. I have a red one, and it is among my favorites. On the pricey side, though, I think they'd sell a lot more if they hadn't priced it so high. It is the most expensive non-vintage razor I own. I have one Grail vintage razor I spent a bit more to acquire. They have taken a step to bring the price down a bit, though, by releasing versions with smooth anodized handles. Never having tried one of those, I don't know how that impacts the grip. Well, that is interesting to know, but these grooves in here, these flutes that are cut into this aluminum handle are just wonderful. The grip is fantastic. It's maneuverable. It's nimble. It does cut down on a little weight versus the stainless steel version, but still plenty of weight to let the razor do all the work. I have been shaving with this one and loving every shave with it. Yeah, a big, big thank you again to Matt Panter. An absolutely delightful razor. We will have links below where you can check these out for yourselves. The Edwin Jagger 316 razor, really, really terrific. Stainless and aluminum. Stainless cap, base plate, neck, and bottom knob, and an anodized aluminum handle. Really, really just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. And this is the blue version. I thought it was ice blue. This is actually the blue version. You know what? It's just a beautiful, beautiful color. Blue, ice blue, they're both beautiful, and the razor is just absolutely fantastic. So again, a big, big thank you to Matt Panter for very kindly sending this along to the channel, allowing me to share with all the viewers out there. It's an absolutely, absolutely fantastic razor, especially with a feather blade. Wow, is that a smooth shave? And that wraps up this week's refill segment. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Oh, one more thing we forgot to mention in refill. Rob Bruno writes, the 316 is the best razor on the market. Rob, thanks very much for that endorsement. Really do appreciate it. Now, that wraps up this week's refill segment. Thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's check out some new wet shaving gear. Well, this morning we got a couple of back-to-back reviews on that new shaving bowl and brush from the folks at Leaf Shaving. First up is something from Larry Sablotny, and he writes, I received the new bowl and brush from Leaf Shaving this week and shaved with them this morning while watching today's Monday Morning Mailbag. The lather was fantastic. I use the unscented puck as it allows me to use any of the aftershaves I have. The brush is small, and one would think it wouldn't make a good lather, but that is so untrue. Following the instructions of using the chamber in the handle of the brush with 2 full amounts of water dumped into the bowl, and after 90 seconds of building a lather, it was a great, boom, lather. It was a great soap that allowed a great shave. I also used the leaf twig for the shave, a great combination from Leaf Shaving. Wow, he sent along these great pictures and some great, great lathers from it. And I asked him about the handle, and about the water. And he says, yes, you fill up the brush handle twice, pour it into the bowl, then use the dry brush to work up the lather. 80 to 100 seconds later, you've got a great lather. Wow, that is really neat, because we always talk about different kinds of soap to water ratios, and it looks like this particular brush allows you to get the perfect ratio every single time by filling up the brush handle twice, dumping into the bowl, using the dry brush to then build your lather. Wow, that is absolutely fantastic. Larry, thanks for passing along that detail. Really do appreciate it. Now, we also got a review on the Leaf brush and bowl from viewer Mike Perit. He sent in this review from his Instagram page, and we will link it below if you want to read it in full. And here's what he writes. What an awesome shave after not shaving for the last 4 days. I used the Leaf Stainless Steel Elite Razor and the Leaf Stainless Steel Elite Thorn to shave my head and neck for a BBS finish. The Leaf was loaded with a new PermaSharp blade in the bottom 2 slots, and the Leaf Thorn has a third-use PermaSharp that was used for the sides of my head. My first impressions of the new Leaf bowl and brush. The Leaf bowl and brush work well. The bowl works very well for the Leaf soap. The water cavity filled twice makes the perfect lather when using the Leaf soap. The knot is the weakest link, as it's a little floppy, which can be fixed in a future update just by making the knot end of the brush handle a little longer to allow for a deeper knot setting. I forgot I had the Leaf shave oil and calming serum until I was thinking about what pre-shave to use, as I had to shave not long after getting home. And again, here's what Mike used for his shave. His pre-shave was the Leaf shave oil. His razors were the Leaf Stainless Steel Elite with a PermaSharp blade in the bottom 2 slots, and also the Leaf Stainless Steel Elite Thorn using a PermaSharp blade. His soap was the Leaf Unscented. His bowl was the Leaf shaving bowl. His brush was the Leaf shaving brush. He used a Lancaster towel, and his aftershave was Leaf Calming Serum. So again, we'll link to this review on Instagram, but thanks very much, Mike, for allowing me to share with all the viewers. And again, a big, big thank you to Larry Sublotny for sending along his review of the Leaf shaving bowl and brush. Sounds like a great bowl and brush, especially like the handle allowing you to measure water to add to your shave bowl to get the proper ratio of soap to water. Really, really neat feature. So gentlemen, thanks again for some great reviews. Really do appreciate it. Well, earlier in the show, in the refill segment, viewer Rod Sloan from Melbourne, Australia, sent along his thoughts and experiences with Martin de Candre shave soap. Now, this sample came from viewer Jonathan Peoples. Jonathan, thank you again very, very much. We're going to get a review on this, and Rod's comments were very, very helpful. Now, viewer Scott Martin sent along this review and photos of some of the Martin de Candre products that he has in his shave den. Pretty amazing stuff. And Scott writes, Mark, great show today. I was particularly excited to see Martin de Candre get some screen time thanks to viewer Jonathan Peoples. There are many companies out there that I rate a 10 out of 10 for overall product quality, such as Sterling, Phoenix Shaving, Katie's Bubbles, etc. But Martin de Candre is simply in their own category above all the rest, in my opinion. Here's a couple of pictures of my Martin de Candre collection, including their quirky ice cream bowl and butter dish, which both contain shaving soap in their original scent. I love it when companies do things like this for no good reason other than to have fun. In fact, the only criticism I have ever heard about Martin de Candre is their price. However, once you factor in how incredibly long this soap lasts, you realize you got a deal. Much like buying a pet tortoise, that jar of shaving soap is almost certainly going to outlive you. Cheers, Scott. Scott, thanks very, very much for the photos of these great products from Martin de Candre and also your thoughts and experiences with it. I'm really looking forward to reviewing this. And again, this scent is marvelous. It's got like a lemongrass scent with bergamot and grapefruit in there. It is absolutely marvelous. And again, I have some ideas on what my aftershave splash is going to be to follow up with this. Stay tuned for the review. Really looking forward to it. And again, it is a very, very hard soap in there. It looks like I'm gonna be able to get a little scoop and scrape off some of that and put it in a lathering bowl and build a lather. And again, I am going to purposely scrape just a little bit to see how much lather it generates, because my assumption here is a little goes a long way, because it's a long, long lasting soap, as Scott has pointed out. So thanks again, Scott, for the photos, the products, and your thoughts and experience with Martin de Candre shave soap. And again, a big, big thank you to viewer Jonathan Peoples for very kindly sending this sample along to the channel and allowing me to share it with all the viewers out there. Gentlemen, thanks again very, very much. Now, this comes from viewer RP, and I don't know if this item is still available. It was something available from Oumo Brush on Valentine's Day. And RP writes, coffee cup brush handle made me think of you. Mark, a brush handle that looks like a cup of coffee. This is absolutely gorgeous. It looks like one of those commuter coffee mugs that you would have when you're driving into work. And as they write here, the warmest coffee for Valentine's Day. Now, this was available on Valentine's Day. I'm thinking maybe they still might be available. On this special day of Valentine's Day, Oumo has elaborately prepared warm coffee for everyone. This coffee cup has a classic design, and the cup is spliced by acrylic and resin material, symbolizing the integration and tenacity of love. The surface adopts a delicate frosted and polished process, which is very comfortable to the touch and also increases the texture of the cup. In the middle of the cup, we have also specially designed an exclusive logo with the words Oumo and coffee engraved on it, allowing you to feel the warmth of love while enjoying the shave. It is hoped that this coffee cup handle can make you feel the deep love and careful care when you wake up every morning, and also sincerely wish you and your loved one a warm and sweet festival. Now, again, I don't know if these are still available. We'll get a link below. Hopefully they are. That is an absolutely novel idea for a shaving brush. Wow, my apologies for not having this sooner. But a big thank you to RP for sending it along to the channel. Fingers crossed, let me know if anyone out there who decides to purchase this particular shaving brush, if you're able to get one, please send me an email or a comment below and let us know. So a big thank you to RP for the heads up on this Oumo coffee cup shaving brush. Really do appreciate it. Well, a big thank you goes out to viewer Jamie Horn. Jamie contacted the folks at Yaqi and told him about the Monday Morning Mailbag and the channel, and we communicated, and Yaqi sent along a few items for review here on the channel. And we kicked things off this past Wednesday with a review of the Yaqi Ultima stainless steel adjustable razor. Here it is right here. This is polished stainless steel. It is a two-piece razor. There it is right there like that. Isn't that beautiful? It adjusts from 1 to 6. The adjustment action on the collar is very smooth, very secure. And you can see here that the adjustment dot here, the registration dot, is just above setting number 1. Now, it's very clear to see the numbers that are engraved here on the neck. I was really impressed by that. You can very clearly see these numbers, even though there isn't any black ink, so to speak, to have them stand out. They still stand out on their own, and you'll be able to see these numbers in a variety of lighting conditions. At least I have been able to see them in a variety of lighting conditions. But again, the registration dot right there is just in front of 1 there. And what happened was, during my review, the body of the handle body here, loosened up from the neck of the razor. So all I did was retighten it, and then later on I unloosened it and I readjusted the collar, the adjustment collar, and the neck of the razor, so to speak. So that's as close as I was able to get it. Now, I think that's a feature of the Yaqi razors, because I see a lot of their adjustable razors that are like the Ultima taken apart. The photos show them disassembled. And I think they do that for purposes of cleaning the interior of the razor. At least that's my guess. So if that's so, that's a very, very nice feature. Now, all I did was tighten it back up, and it went back together very, very securely, and I had a great shave. Very, very smooth performer. Now, again, it adjusts from 1 to 6. And as I showed on the video, and I'm going to show you here, this is where the blade gap is at level 3. Okay, can you see that? Now we're going to go all the way up to level 6. Look at that. That's level 6 right there, or just above 6, because it goes just, yeah, it just went up, it went above 6. It's right between 6 and 1 there. So you can see that, wow, that is, so you get a little extra. That is really a very large blade gap, and I'm assuming it has a lot of growl. So this is a razor that I'm using on the mild end of the spectrum. With about 2 to 3 days worth of beard growth, I'll use this at level 3, maybe 3.5, 4, something like that. But as my daily driver, I'm probably going to use this at 2 3/4, 2.5, 2, something like that. It delivers a really nice, mild, smooth, efficient shave for me at those levels. But I don't think I'm going to be using this above level 3 very often, unless I have a lot of beard growth. So if your beard is a little more demanding than mine, this razor is probably made for you. Probably the perfect razor for you if you have that demanding beard where you need more aggression from an adjustable razor. I think, based on my shaves at the lower end, I'm thinking this is going to give you a little more growl for folks with demanding beards. It really, really was a terrific, terrific razor. Again, 316, polished stainless steel, beautifully machined and manufactured, weighs about 3.57 ounces, as we mentioned, and two-piece razor and classic knurling right there on the handle. They also have another version that has a little more of an artistic kind of handle to it. We'll link both of them below where you can check them out on AliExpress. Really, really terrific, terrific razor. Great heft, nice balance, delivered a really, really nice smooth shave for me on the lower end of the adjustment dial. Anything above that, I think, is going to be a little too much for me. But again, if you have a very demanding beard, this razor will most likely be perfect for you. So again, a big, big thank you to Jamie Horn for contacting the folks at Yaqi. Jamie, thank you again very, very much. And a big, big thank you to Grace Chen and everyone at Yaqi for sending along the Yaqi razor and some other items that we're going to be sharing on future and upcoming Monday morning mailbags. So thanks to everyone at Yaqi. And again, a big thank you to Jamie Horn. We'll have links below to the Yaqi Ultima stainless steel adjustable razor. Check it out. 2 different handle styles from AliExpress and the folks at Yaqi. Thanks again, Grace and Yaqi. Thanks again, Jamie Horn. And that wraps up this week's look at new wet shaving gear. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's check out some of these questions and comments. Well, earlier in the show, in the refill segment, we mentioned the Henson titanium razor. Well, Jimmy V sent this along. Hi, Mark. Here's a few thoughts on the Henson V2 in titanium. I bought the Henson AL13 medium shortly after they were released. I really loved the shave it gave me, though it took a while to realize that because it's so light. I had a tendency to press hard to get it to feel like the same pressure as my stainless steel razors. I find the Henson handles to be too thin, so I replaced the handle with a handle from Alpha Shaving. It's the Bravo model in stainless steel. This gave me the width and weight I was more used to, and all my pressure issues went away. At the time of the Henson V1, the titanium was only available in the +++ aggressive version. I knew the medium was just where I liked my aggression level, so the aggressive wouldn't be for me. I really wanted titanium as I absolutely love that metal, and if there is an option to get something in it, I will. But back then, it wasn't to be. Fast forward to 2023, and the Henson V2 released in titanium versions across the full range of aggression. As soon as I saw that, my order went in. I'm not going to rehash the review you did on the V2 Aluminum 13. The Ti shares all those features, including that the handle is indeed grippier. It looks the same, but it just holds on better than the V1 handle. My only issue with the handle is that, like the AL version, it's a bit on the thin side for my big hands. So I replaced that handle with a titanium handle from Timeless Razor. This is now pretty much perfect, and I think it gives a more traditional look to the razor. Here's my Henson Ti with the Timeless Ti handle and their Ti stand. For viewers wondering about the weight, I thought you might like this weight comparison of the Henson with different handles and how they compare to some of my other razors. Well, here's the chart we're going to show to you on screen right here. And the Ti with the original handle weighs in at 60.41 grams. The Ti with the Timeless handle weighs in at 66.67 grams. The AL13 original handle is 37.96 grams. With the Alpha handle, it's 91.03 grams. And you can compare this to some of the other razors that he has in his shaved end, like the Phoenix Shaving Artifact, which is 30.78, the Copper Dock, which is 120.92 grams, the Rex Council XL, which is 121.74 grams, the Rex Council, which is 104.66 grams, and the Rex Ambassador, which is 108.37 grams. Wow, Jimmy, thanks very much for that chart and the breakdown on the weights. Very, very informative to all the viewers out there. He finishes up here by saying, I'm so thrilled to see how many fellow channel viewers are buying the mugs and how much they like them. I hope this is a killer item for you. Thank you very much, Jimmy. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, thanks to everyone out there who made a purchase of the mug. And again, we'll have the links below. So my thanks to everyone who purchased and is enjoying a George Monday Morning Mailbag coffee mug. He wraps up by saying, I hope you come out with hoodies like a 3XLT. Have a great week. Have a great week, Jimmy. Jimmy, that's a great suggestion. I'm going to look into putting together a hoodie now that I know the sweatshirts have come out looking fantastic. And a big thanks again to Matt Panter and Bill Murphy for acquiring the sweatshirts and commenting how great they look and how great they feel. So I'll try to find a comparable hoodie with a comparable design for it. Absolutely fantastic. So Jimmy, thanks again for your thoughts on the Henson Ti and all the great information regarding it. Really, really do appreciate it. Viewer Jeff Palmer writes, Hey Mark, I recently purchased the Omega MB 1919 brush and was wondering if you could recommend a stand for it. It is a beautiful brush and should have something better than my 3D printed stands. Thanks, Jeff Palmer. Jeff, yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful brush. And again, a big, big thank you to Matt Panter for very kindly and generously sending this along to the channel, allowing me to share with all the viewers. It's an absolutely fantastic shaving brush. This is the Omega Elite GT Series shaving brush. This one is in the McLaren Motorsports Racing Team colors. It is just fantastic. It's beautiful. Now it's a 29 millimeter knot and the handle is rather beefy. Great feel on the hand, and the bristles of this synthetic brush are just uber soft. Wonderful. I've already done a face lather with it a couple of times, as a matter of fact, and it was fantastic. I've got that review completed, and I'm going to be posting that as well. It's just an absolutely wonderful performing shaving brush, whether you're bowl lathering or face lathering. It just does a superlative, spectacular job in creating that boom lather. Absolutely. Now, I don't have a razor stand, a brush stand, a razor and brush stand for it, and I can't recommend anything off the top of my head. What I'm doing right now, I'm doing one of two things. I am rinsing it out and giving it a good shake, and surprisingly and wonderfully, it's about 95 to 99% dry when that happens. So then I'll just stand it right there on my counter, just like that. I'll just set it on the counter and stand it up, and I seem to be good to go. When I'm using my fine lathering bowl to build a lather, that's when, after I rinse the brush out and give it some shakes to dry it out and buff it a little bit on the towel, then I'll just use that shave brush handle rest on the fine lathering bowl like that, and I'll let it lay on its side and dry out that way. But as of right now, I don't know of a brush stand or a razor and brush stand that will accommodate this brush at the moment, because it does have, again, it's a 29 millimeter knot. The handle is a nice size. It's not overly large, but it's not going to work in any of the razor and brush stands that I have. So I'll put it to the viewers out there. If you know of a razor and brush stand or a brush stand that will work, that will also complement the wonderful look of this razor, please comment below and let us know. Jeff, I hope those two solutions work for you temporarily. And in the meantime, if you also have a solution, please comment below or send me an email. And we will get that out to other viewers who decide to acquire this shaving brush, because it really, really is a spectacular shaving brush. And again, sincere, heartfelt thanks to Matt Panter for very kindly sending this along to the channel and allowing me to share it with all the viewers out there. Jeff, thanks for a great, great question. And I look forward to hearing from you and other viewers as to the solution in getting a razor and brush stand or a brush stand for the Omega Elite GT Series shaving brush. Jeff, thanks again very, very much. Viewer David Dart wrote the following. Mark, good morning, sir. Yet another wonderful Monday morning mailbag. I went to the last GTA Meetup, that's the Greater Toronto Area Meetup, back in November. When I was there, I picked up a vintage Gillette Tech razor from the PIF table. As far as I can find, it was made between 1948 and 1952 or 53. I'm getting ready to move in the near future, so I had put it away, and last night I came across it again. So I cleaned it and had my first shave with it this morning. Wow, just wow. Very mild with hardly no blade feel, but a smooth BBS finish. I highly recommend vintage razors. It's not in perfect condition, but after 70 plus years, it still shaves like a dream. Have a great day. Hey, David, thanks very, very much for sending along the photos and telling us about your experience with this beautiful vintage Gillette Tech razor, probably from the late 40s, early 50s, something like that. These are absolutely wonderful shavers. I have a few in my razor collection, and I have this one right here from the 1950s. This is a basic Gillette Tech razor. This is the most common configuration of it right here. It's a ball tip right here, or a ball end. Boy, is this a smooth, mild, efficient razor. You're absolutely correct. But you can also find them in some other configurations. I happen to have a fat handle version right here. I believe this is, if I remember correctly, yeah, if you can see here, I'll show you right here. This base plate has the triangles right there. When you see triangles like that, it's probably pre-World War II. So this might be late 1930s. And it's a little more aggressive than the 1950s Gillette Tech razors, from what I understand. And I also have this one right here, kind of a gold version. And again, I probably have to polish this up a little bit. And again, this has the rectangular slots in the base plate like that, which means it's a little more on the milder size. On the milder side. I don't know what year this is. I can't remember where I got this. I think I got this from a fellow wet shaver. They sent it in its original case, which is a little bit beaten up here, and it came with 2 razor heads. This one right here, and this one here also. And this one again has the triangular lathering slots right there. You can see that, which means it's a little more on the aggressive side. So that's my understanding. Just a little bit of a tip to anyone looking for Gillette Tech razors. If the base plate has rectangular lathering channels, it's mild, so to speak. It's kind of general rule of thumb. If it has triangular lathering channels, then it's a little more aggressive. That's my understanding. To my fellow wet shavers and viewers out there, please comment below and let me know if I've got that right or wrong. And happy to be corrected on that point. But the point here is that these vintage razors, these Gillette Tech razors, are wonderful. They are absolutely awesome, awesome shavers. And, if you find one where the plating isn't the best and it has like a little bit of flea bites on the handle and that sort of thing, and there's a little bit of wear on some of the plating, that sort of thing. It's not that big of a deal as long as the plating is intact and, it's still in good shape, maybe a little bit of wear. These things just deliver great shaves, and many out there would encourage you to not replate it, to just keep it in its original state, as long as there's no rust or anything like that on it. Keep it in its original state if there's enough plating there and that sort of thing, because it really does have a lot of character that way. Now, again, as I mentioned to David in my reply, the exception to the rule is kind of the adjustable Gillette razors that are out there, the Fat Boys and the Slims, that sort of thing. These would need to be tuned and balanced, and the interiors, the inner workings and mechanisms might need to be cleaned, that sort of thing. And if you're going to go do that, then having it replated and brought back up to its original nickel-plated glory, or plating it in gold or whatever else is out there available, that's a really, really nice way to go, because the mechanics of the adjustable razor, when you find something used like that, it would really, really help to have it balanced, tweaked, tuned up, that sort of thing. And if you're going to do that, you might as well have it replated. But these 3-piece Gillette Tech razors, I don't think there really is a need to have them replated if there is enough plating there. It has a great deal of character. This one needs to be polished a little bit, so I'll polish that up and bring it back. Or maybe I'll just leave it the way it is. It just looks great, has a lot of character. So yeah, again, this is another great reminder of what you can find at a PIF table, and also reminds us that the Maggard Meetup coming up on April 26th, they have a wonderful PIF table there. So if you are attending the Maggard Meetup, make sure to visit that PIF table, because you too might come across a great vintage razor like David did when he found the Gillette Tech razor at the Greater Toronto Area Meetup. David, thanks so much for sharing this wonderful razor find. Enjoy that razor, and it's a great reminder when you go to a meetup, visit those PIF tables. You never know what you're going to find. David, thanks again very, very much. And that wraps up another Monday Morning Mailbag. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below. Let me know. Check out all the wonderful artisan soap makers and sellers that you see displayed on the bottom of the screen right now. They make and offer some wonderful artisan shave soap. They also offer some wonderful wet shaving gear to enhance your traditional wet shave. The next time you're online, please take a moment, pay them a visit. I sure would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Also, check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/Mark Zarady, where you'll find all the Amazon listed products that I review in this channel, organize and categorize so you can find everything in a snap very easily. I'll leave you with this laugh. Hey, we have another double take cartoon puzzle this week. Try to find the differences between the two cartoon panels. If you need more time, just pause the video or try to find all the differences before time runs out. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Make it a great week.